Hello, it's Deidre. First, my washer and dryer are running, so sorry if you hear sounds. I don't know if it's going to edit out correctly. Oops. And I have a cat right above my head, existing on my booth. So, without further ado, godly spiritual TikToks.
Birthday is aging you. The ritual, it's a ritual. They turn the lights down, they light a candle. This is all a spell. This is a spell. And they ask a little child, how old are you now? Hold on, what are you talking about how old I am? I'm just a child. How am I old? Why are you equating my youth with old? And so your body cells hear that how old I'm getting old, or listen, or in the life that you live, people think that they're getting older, so their thoughts become things, and it shapes the body. Your mind shapes your body. So if you think that you're going to get old, the people in your life you have watched deteriorate and got old. So you think because you live in a world that gets old. So therefore you think in your mind that you get old, and you have to break this spell. This spell has to be broken. You are infinite. When someone asks you your age, you say 0. If they want to know your login date, you tell them your login date. But you don't tell people that you're a certain age. You're not a certain age. I stopped counting.
I kind of see what he's saying, but at the same time, it's like, at this point, it kind of makes me feel like we are creating things to be afraid of. Now, a child having their birthday, there's no reason why you should not acknowledge, oh, how old are you? You know, that's our language. That's what we say. It is not making a person older to ask, how old are you? Let's be real. I know it sounds good and it feels good to believe in something like that, but we are literally in bodies that age. Regardless of the infinite, nature of energy and soul, we are in bodies that age. We're having this experience on Earth. We count by years. How old are you now does not make that happen. There are plenty of people who don't get that song sung to them, and they still get old. So please don't think that. To me, it's in your head. If you believe that people saying how old are you now in the birthday song is going to make you older, then it's going to make you older. But I mean, if you're an innocent little kid and it's just like, how old are you? And you're just like, you're not going to be aging any faster than you would be if they didn't sing that song.
This video is fake, not real.
You want to talk about Africa? Did y'all know that Arizona is literally the back of...
Is this the same guy? Okay. I'll hear him out.
Africa? That you could through Arizona, through the Grand Canyon, nigga, which is why they don't let nobody go through it. Did you know that you could walk through the Grand Canyon, and if you keep walking through the Grand Canyon, your ass gonna end up in Africa? Y'all didn't know that. That's why Arizona got the sunsets they got. Yeah, the only place in the country with them sunsets too is Arizona, ain't it? It's this forever hot in Arizona too, ain't it? And if you live in Arizona, you know they don't let your motherfucking ass go through that Grand Canyon. Why? Because the whole fucking map is off Richter. Nothing is where they told us it was at. Can we talk? I'm trying to take Arizona, if you go through the Grand Canyon and you keep walking and your ass keep walking through the Grand Canyon going south through the Grand Canyon, you're going to end up in motherfucking Africa.
I watched Rashad Jamal before. I think this is a much older video than when I had first been aware of him. Many people may not agree. I personally, I'll hear him out, and a lot of what he says, he does make good points. A lot of what he says, I do feel his heart is in the right place. However, there are some things, and I cannot ignore it. There are some things that are said that are just so not, I don't want to say not right, but misleading. There are some things he says that are quite misleading. And I think the way he speaks with authority and very all-knowing and confident, it tends to lead the viewers down a road that is a bit deceptive. For example, the reasoning behind this is oh, it's hot in Arizona, therefore it must be Africa. Like, where is the connection? Where is the connection that will tell me in my mind, oh, I need to really think about this possibility? Like, just because they are both hot does not mean they are the same thing. There are plenty of places in this world that are just as hot. Why don't they lead to Africa? Why doesn't Arizona lead to somewhere else, you know? Can we just use our better brain cell here? I'm not saying don't listen to him. I'm not saying don't watch him. I'm not saying don't support him. I'm just saying anyone that you watch, not only him. I love David Icke. There are some things that he says that I do not care for. I listen. A lot of the things he says I do agree, but it's okay to disagree with some. Just because a person you respect and agree with some things on does not mean you have to agree with the other things that they're saying, because nobody in this world knows all of the truth. So yeah, let's leave it at that. Make of this what you will. It literally said this is fake across the TikTok. I don't know if that's him putting that there or someone else, but the fact of the matter is it's being spread still through this video. It's kind of doing a disservice to Black people in particular that respect him for how he speaks and, you know, are seeking that guiding light through the spiritual world, because it brings us back down into a world of delusion, or perhaps sucks us into the delusion that is a result of the trauma of our past. We need something to hold on to and believe in and feel strong in, but this isn't it.
Calling me fat? Are you saying I need to exercise?
That's not what this video is about. We're 3 weeks into Hawaii, still not wearing any shoes. Why is that, Sayla?
Because shoes are the shackles of society.
And if we were some type of hippy-dippy type of people, we would say something about how rubber soles prevent the electrical flow from your feet into the ground, and it doesn't ground you to the earth, and it keeps you separate. But we would not say that, because
We would never say that.
that's some hippie stuff. What else would we say, Sayla?
If we were hippies, we would tell you birds are drones, but we didn't say that.
Or that the government controls the weather.
You know that sound on the TikTok about all the government secrets? Yeah, there's only 19 videos. Think about it.
If we were hippies, we'd tell you to think about it.
To each their own. I prefer to wear shoes. That isn't to say that I don't understand the connection to the earth through your feet. That is very real as well. But for me, there's a time and a place. I'd rather do it with intention. I'd say nowadays there's a lot of worse things that can get on your feet walking barefoot than just wearing shoes.
Tell me all about this Satan entity that's in the Bible. He was the second hand of God at one point. Nobody smarter than him other than God. He was the right hand, and he's not even an angel. He's a cherubim, and everywhere he went, music followed him. He was a genius and so on. I said, oh, interesting. That's a pretty smart guy, huh? Yeah, oh yeah. So you're saying that this entity has a high IQ then, higher than any human? Oh yes. Well, answer me this then. So in the Bible, what happens to this being? He commits these acts that are all prophesied in this book, and at the end, he's cast into a lake of fire for all eternity. So this being with this super high intelligence that's almost on the same level of God, he's going to follow the prophecies written by flesh and blood human beings on a piece of paper to his own demise. Is that entity that you're running from is the one that orchestrated the way this text in this book is put together so that you can run to your own demise. In the end, what's happening is you're following and worshiping the same entity and demon that you're running from. The guy's eyes got wide open.
Interesting. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on that topic. That's probably for another video. However, with all due respect to those who, follow religions, and, I connect with a lot of people who are Christian, and I respect it 100%. Everyone's entitled to believe what they want. I honestly don't believe there's any harm in something that actually brings you peace, or to a peaceful place, or a place of balance in your own spiritual journey. However, I will say I have a hard time with something that was handed to me by people who had no issue slaughtering innocent people in order to make what they were trying to push come to the forefront. I don't know if I said that right. I have a hard time when I'm being told that something is the truth, but in order for it to be the truth, people have to be slaughtered. and enslaved. If that makes any sense, I'm going to try and think of a better way to say that. To me, truth is truth, and truth is infallible, and it doesn't require shed blood in order to remain the truth. I highly doubt that the people up there will hand me something that will empower me and show me how to be stronger and smarter than them. I don't know if that makes any sense. And that isn't to say that there's no truth in there, because I think there's tons of truth. However, I feel as though it has been manipulated by not good people in order to make sure that you do not become a threat to them. And unfortunately, the way a lot of it is interpreted is in a way that feels like empowerment, but also removes us from a power that we have inherited as extensions of God. We also are a piece of God. You know, I don't know. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just saying those are thoughts that I have. And before anyone says, you know, well, these are sacred words, the Bible talks about people altering the Bible and the punishment that will come to them for doing so. And if it wasn't something that would happen, it wouldn't say that, right? People are nasty. You play a game of telephone. By the time it gets like 5 people down the line, you're going to have something different. Whether it's intentional or not intentional. Anything that goes through the hands of humans is going to change. Because we all have our own, you know, interests here, or desires, or intentions. There's no way that the honest truth has survived thousands of years through the hands of human beings. Human beings who can look at each other and slaughter each other. Not everyone, but I'm talking about you know who. That can look at others and slaughter them just to benefit themselves. There's no way. Just like there's no way humans look at animals and say, oh, let's create mass distribution, mass slaughter of cows, cattle, and goats, and, you know, have a meat factory. You know, it's profit. If there's dollar signs involved, just know there's no way that they are not doing that to humans as well.
Okay, let's talk about the great separation. Now, this separation is just a split in consciousness. This just means that everyone in the world is going to be splitting into different directions according to their state of consciousness. And this type of huge shift could be very chaotic at first. It could bring a lot of fights, a lot of disagreements, just a lot of things that's not very peaceful. This is happening because everybody has different beliefs and different perspectives. But most importantly, it's our perspectives. This is something that's even happening in the conscious community. A lot of us are fighting to defend our perspective. But we all should just be more understanding towards each other, even if somebody has a different perspective or beliefs. Me personally, I don't agree with a lot of people, but I don't judge anyone and I don't give anyone hate. I know our unity is what we need, and that's when we are at our strongest. Even if we don't agree with things or we're just not the type of people to be friends, I still have love for all of my people. This separation is happening so that people can finally start to see through duality, good and bad, right and wrong. None of that is actually real, and that's what we must see.
He's completely right. There's nothing that I disagree with that he has said. He is completely right. I hope that we can go in that direction. You know, for my last video, I kind of steered away from the controversial spiritual TikToks because honestly, in my heart, like, I don't like to point the finger at other people. At the end of the day, we're all free to believe what we want to believe. But also, I see the importance of making sure that we talk about those things rather than just blindly, because someone we respect says it, it has to be the truth. That's very dangerous. You can agree with one thing and then not agree with something and still be respectful to the person.
All right, let's take a look at this. Ancient hair picks found in America, created by the Olmecs. Now, I don't know about y'all, but these look very familiar. I gotta realize it's the small things that's gonna bring the truth. If black people aren't aboriginals, then why did the aboriginals have hair picks, specifically used for coiled hair? Not to mention the ancient Egyptians also used these hair picks. People with straight hair or wavy hair cannot use these picks. It literally does not work. I'm really just ready to see how people are gonna try to debunk this in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Ashe.
I don't know about him saying it doesn't work for other hair textures. To me, it's a very narrow comb. And you can comb hair of a variety of textures with a long comb. I wasn't there. I honestly don't care. And that is it. We've kept it kind of short this round, which is nice. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you'd like to elaborate on anything in particular. You know, I will leave you with this thought. I like to use a fish analogy myself. Fish born in a fish tank don't know the ocean exists. They don't know a river exists. They don't know lakes exist. They don't know the outside world exists. All they know is this body of water that gets changed once a week. Their little rocks and their fake plants. That's all they know. If one of those fishes goes to the other fish and says, dude, there's a whole ocean out there, would the other fish believe him? Maybe not. We are born on this planet thinking that we know everything in our little fish tank. We think that we know the vastness of the universe from this little fish tank because of what people are telling us. I, for one, am of the belief that there's so much that we don't know and can't possibly know as fish in this little tank here called planet Earth. I think it's very foolish to go through your time on this planet thinking that you're getting the truth from science and the news in this little fish tank with entities whose best interest is you existing in this fish tank. I highly doubt that you are as smart as you think you are. When you walk down the street looking down on other people for not trusting the science or believing everything that they're told through media, believing everything that they're told in politics, etc. I think we're dumber than we really are aware of in that respect. And I don't want to generalize. I think a lot of us are dumber than we realize in that respect. So, yeah. And that's it. See you in video number 4. Maybe we'll venture to a different side of TikTok. Who knows? But that's it. Have a great day.